Hi, welcome to Life in a Bottle, Season 2, Episode 20. I'm Kyle, joined by Cody and a special guest visitor, James Sparks. James is one of the folks, the masterminds behind Liquid Farm. Cody, this has been a pet project of yours for a while, huh?
There has been. What we have here is the 2019 Liquid Farm Rosé of Graciano. First bottling ever made, Ancona's Cuvée, number 4. Yeah, we have James Sparks. Welcome, James. Thanks for being on the show today. This is a moment that I never thought would be happening. I mean, it's super freaking exciting to have our own cuvée of Liquid Farm Rosé. Never thought that would happen, but here we are.
Here we are. Yeah.
And so I wanted to ask you a little bit about the Graciano. This is a wine that's being bottled for the first time, and could you tell us a little? It comes from a secret vineyard. So without giving up too many secrets, can you tell us a little bit about the fruit and kind of where it comes from, what that terroir is like?
So it's actually it is Happy Canyon. So we're in that, I wish I had bad with these names, obviously, but I think it's Serpentine that kind of runs throughout that vineyard and that area, because Volgazane and that vineyard are very close, especially we're talking couple miles. It's a little windy, so it takes you a little bit longer to get there, but by the way the crow flies, you're fairly close. So a little bit warmer. This vineyard is farmed organically, which I think is pretty awesome.
That's great.
It's a newer planting, but just kind of fresh, and these healthy vines. They're facing, I always get my east, so they're north-south facing, so that they can kind of, as that sun goes over and goes down, they're kind of getting exposed to both sides. It helps with that ripening aspect.
You proposed a Graciano idea, which I didn't see that coming.
Yeah. Well, at the time we were using that in the Liquid Farm Rosé, and we didn't even know. We thought it was Merved. They had misplanted it. When you started talking about a rosé, I was like, well, I mean, we had just gotten the fruit that we wanted. The vines that we replanted were coming online, so we didn't really need that contract. So that was going to go by the wayside. And so it was kind of an opportunity where you could get some organic fruit farmed really well, close to where I already know the vineyard, and also allowed me to check it fairly easily because I'm checking Volgazane. So I like that proximity, so that makes it easier for me. I'm lazy.
Efficient, not lazy. Efficient.
Oh, okay, yeah, efficient. Good call. Yeah, I like that word better. See, Anna, it's efficiency.
I gotta say, we're super, super excited with the way that this turned out. I think one thing we talked about was something that was super easy to drink, on the lighter side, just like really quaffable.
Yeah.
But I couldn't have imagined that it would come out this quaffable. This is like, what does it say here? 10.5%?
Yeah.
So how did the stars align for that?
So with Liquid Farm, we're kind of in that 11.5 alcohol. It just sort of works for a great sweet spot for what we're trying to do. And it also gives me some flexibilities where I'm working with so many different vineyards, so that I can blend in and kind of keep it in that ballpark. And so I had already done that 10.5. I knew where the acid was. I knew what the flavors were. So when you asked for that to be kind of in that, I was like, oh yeah, I can do that, no problem. I think the year was just right for that. Everything fell into place for our farming and for the weather, so it allowed for one pick.
Yeah, I remember being on the phone and you kept saying to me, it's really high acid. I trust you implicitly. Like this is the 4th project we've done together, but in the back of my head, I wondered a little bit, like, could this turn into battery acid?
Well, because you go off what we're doing with Liquid Farm, we do have acid. We're not shy about that. And when I'm saying we've got some acid, you're like, oh God, he's saying we got some acid. Does that mean we have more acid than we know what to do with?
You know, the end result is that you get a bottle of wine that can be easily drank between 2 people in a very short amount of time. So as far as winemaking, can we talk about that a little bit? And kind of, I know roughly what you do with Liquid Farm. And I know roughly what you did with this wine too, but maybe just for the audience, could you tell them sort of what the basic approach was?
So kind of that idea, and this is why we started talking, Cody, is because we do a lot of work with organically farmed vineyards. And so one of the things that we want to make sure is that we're not adding anything that doesn't need to be in there. And that starts with the farming. And so with that, it allows for a good time for picking. We're paying attention to our yields. We're paying attention to, the canopy management. All that starts there. And then once we get into the winery, because at least in my opinion, and where I'm at right now, and I have a lot of barrels, I like barrel fermentation. It allows for me to pick with super high acid, but as I ferment in barrel and as I age a little bit in barrel, it rounds a lot of those harsh edges out. As we get ready for bottling, that's where we'll filter so that it can kind of stay the way that we want it to taste. And that's the idea, is barrel fermentation on the lees. We throw it into a barrel. It's about 40 gallons filled, so it's exposed to lots of oxygen as it ferments, and then once it finishes, and because it's low alcohol, it took probably about a week to burn through everything. Ooh, and for this one, no time on the skins. Like, we brought that in, and as quick, no foot stomping. With Liquid Farm, I'll do some foot stomping just because Merved typically doesn't give me a lot of color. But for Graciano, no foot stomping. We brought it in as quickly as possible, put it right into the press, pressed it right off, gentle pressing, put it to tank for about 24 hours, and then it goes into barrel.
So no maceration whatsoever after pressing, huh?
No.
The color is stunningly beautiful.
Yeah.
It's absolutely gorgeous, and it's definitely pink. It's not one of those like Gris Blanc styles.
No.
I think a lot of people too would see the alcohol content and kind of be like, it's like water. But there's so much happening. There's so much going on. It's tart, it's crisp, it's refreshing, but there's soul to it too, which is like, hats off, man.
Thank you. It's very drinkable.
All right, bro. Well, I want to thank you. This has been great. And most of all, thanks for the collaboration and making us such a beautiful...
You're very welcome.
I mean, this is perfect. It literally, it could not have come out any better. Like, this is ideal.
Yeah. And then, so the two guys who helped me, Nate Axline, my assistant winemaker, and then Robbie Evans, my enologist, they loved it. They were like, I mean, Liquid Farm is great, but it's just a little different than the Ancona stuff, which is the idea. Like, we didn't want to make the same wine across the board. But they're like, can we have a couple bottles? I'm like, and I should say the difference between Ancona and Liquid Farm is more about multiple vineyards, different pick times, and still that barrel fermentation, but it's that Merved. So Merved versus Graciano. Have you had the 19 yet? Any of you guys yet?
No.
So it'll be fun for you guys to see that.
We got it in the store. We just got to pull a cork, so.
Pull corks. Just, you got to do a comparison just for kicks and giggles. I think it's for, what do you call it? Work related?
We got King's Carry too.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, we got to taste the trio.
Oh yeah, because you've got Merved, you've got Grenache, and now you got Graciano. And interesting enough, so the Graciano, obviously like 10.5. Liquid Farm, we're about 11.5. And then for the King's Carry on this year is about 12. So the way that year went, it kind of came in a little bit higher, but the acid was just spot on. So pretty happy about that.
And,
thanks very much, James. It's been a pleasure. It's great to actually hang out a little bit instead of just reading about you. So
also great to see you. Well, now it's official. I've seen you on the YouTube and I see you on the email blast.
Oh, good. Did you hear that? He watches our emails or our videos.
Yeah, I keep an eye
on. My favorite winemaker. He actually watches the YouTube videos.
They're pretty great. You guys are, I like them. I think they're fun. You're very welcome. You guys have a wonderful rest of the day. Let's keep doing the Zoom things because, I mean, this allows us to see each other more often than me coming out, which is about once a year.
Heck yeah. All right, say hi to Jeff.
Okay, we'll do. You guys have a great day. Thank you. We'll talk soon.
Yeah.
You too, man. Be well.
All right, thank you. See ya.
There should be an end meeting button for you.
Oh, here it is. Leave. Okay, I'm going to leave. We'll see you guys.
Hey, bro. Oh, man. James is the best.
He's a good dude.
This one.
He's a good dude. And he makes some killer wine.
I mean, for me, this is very much about like yellow peaches. It's got some red fruit, but it's got that like very like fresh, like peach juice kind of feel. Very very stony mineral, chalky, and just a whisper of fresh cream, but not nearly as much as like Liquid Farm, for instance, just the regular Liquid Farm.
Honestly, like I'm with you on that for sure. I think that peach is underripe.
Yeah.
And I think when like I hesitate almost to say peachy because I think people feel like a super fleshy Albarino or something like that is what comes to mind. But you're right, it's like that nectarine peachy kind of thing. There's that great citrus peel that he was talking about too, like that grapefruit rind, that orange rind, just a little bit of pith. It's got that perfect little pucker, but it's so easy on the finish. It doesn't, you're not like, woo. What are you gonna pair it with?
You know, so many options. I mean, like, thus far, we haven't been able to make it to dinner time after opening the bottle just because it goes so quickly. But I mean, I think it's perfect for shellfish. I think it's perfect for seafood, delicate whitefish. What about you, dude?
I was gonna say oysters.
Yeah.
Honestly, like this is a killer. Like pull a cork, crack open a few oysters, throw them back. Like you don't even need mignonette with the acidity and the freshness on this.
Yep.
Absolutely killer. But like a little shrimp salad, I think would be great. You were right on with that whitefish. Anything and nothing. I mean, this is like one of Mitch's favorite things to say is like, oh, pair it with an afternoon and a deck and some friends. But man, I don't know if I'd share this. I feel like I'd have a glass, and then by the time everybody else arrived, we'd be working on bottle number 2.
Yeah, it's funny. You drink this wine, you almost feel like you're hydrating.
It's so easy.
Lots to be thankful for. So.
Indeed. Well, cheers, bud.
Cheers to that.